The glass conference room on the 14th floor of Meridian Industries had become my personal theater of invisibility. For 2 years, I'd sat in these meetings, taking notes while department heads like Kevin Patterson treated me like office furniture. What Kevin didn't know was that while he saw a secretary, the CEO saw something entirely different. "All right, team," Kevin announced, spreading project documents across the mahogany table. "Let's discuss the Morrison account without any distractions." He glanced meaningfully at me, sitting in the corner with my laptop. His team, 5 middle managers who'd climbed the corporate ladder through politics rather than performance, chuckled appreciatively. "Sarah, you can step out for this one," Kevin said dismissively. "This is strategic planning, not note-taking." I looked up from my laptop where I'd been reviewing quarterly financial reports. "Actually, I think I should stay." Kevin's assistant director, Marcus Webb, laughed outright. "She's just a secretary, ignore her," he told the group. "She probably doesn't even understand what we're discussing." The team snickered while Kevin pulled up PowerPoint slides showing budget projections for the Morrison account, a $15 million client acquisition that would make or break the department's annual targets. "Secretaries should stick to coffee runs," Kevin continued, emboldened by his audience's laughter. "Leave the real business to people who understand strategy." I smiled quietly and returned to my laptop, pulling up files that would soon turn Kevin's condescending lecture into a career-ending moment. "Now," Kevin said, clicking to his first slide, "the Morrison deal requires a $3.2 million upfront investment in infrastructure and personnel. I've structured this to maximize our profit margins while minimizing client delivery timelines." Marcus nodded eagerly. "Brilliant approach, Kevin. Morrison will never see this coming." What they didn't see coming was the fact that Morrison Industries was one of my personal consulting clients, and I'd been advising them on vendor selection for months. "The beauty of this proposal," Kevin continued, "is that we can charge Morrison premium rates while using our cheapest offshore resources. They'll think they're getting our A team, but we'll deliver with our C team and pocket the difference." His team erupted in appreciative laughter. These were the same people who'd been sit on emails where I'd tried to raise concerns about project quality and client satisfaction, emails they'd dismissed because they came from just a secretary. "Sarah probably has no idea what we're even talking about," laughed Jennifer Walsh, the department's project manager. "I doubt she's ever seen a real budget projection." I'd actually been reviewing their budget projections for weeks, identifying cost overruns and efficiency problems that Kevin's team had somehow missed despite their advanced degrees and impressive titles. "The Morrison executives are flying in next week for final approval," Kevin announced. "Once they sign off, this department will exceed our annual targets by 200%. What Kevin didn't know was that Morrison's executives had already made their decision, and it wasn't the one he expected. My phone buzzed with a text message. I glanced at it and smiled, recognizing the number of Morrison Industries' chief financial officer. "Kevin," I said quietly, "you might want to reconsider this approach." The room fell silent, then erupted in laughter. "Did the secretary just try to give us business advice?" Marcus asked incredulously. "That's adorable," Jennifer added. "Next she'll be offering to negotiate the contract terms." Kevin walked over to my corner, his voice dripping with condescension. "Sarah, I appreciate your enthusiasm. But complex client negotiations require experience you simply don't have." "What experience would that be?" I asked calmly. "MBA-level strategic thinking. Understanding of market dynamics. Client relationship management at the executive level." He gestured toward his team. "Things they don't teach in secretarial school." I saved the document I'd been working on and closed my laptop. "You're right about one thing, Kevin. They definitely don't teach this in secretarial school." Before he could respond, the conference room door opened and CEO William Hartley walked in, followed by his assistant carrying a stack of files. "Perfect timing," Mr. Hartley said, looking directly at me. "Sarah, did you approve the budget for the Morrison project yet?" The room went completely silent. Kevin's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "Mr. Hartley, I think there's been some confusion. Sarah is my secretary, not." "Sarah isn't your secretary, Kevin," Mr. Hartley said calmly. "She's the Senior Vice President of Strategic Operations. She's been evaluating your department's performance for the past 6 months. The color drained from Kevin's face. That's impossible. She takes my dictation. She schedules my meetings. She brings me coffee. She was conducting an operational assessment, Mr. Hartley explained. At board-level request. We needed someone to evaluate departmental efficiency from the inside without influencing behavior through senior management presence. Marcus was frantically flipping through papers. But her business cards say administrative assistant. Cover identity, I said, standing up and walking to the whiteboard. It's remarkable how much you can learn about a department when people think you're invisible. I began writing numbers on the whiteboard, numbers that made Kevin's team shift uncomfortably in their seats. For example, I continued, your Morrison proposal has a 340% markup on services that Morrison Industries can get elsewhere for half the price. Kevin found his voice. Those are competitive rates for premium services. Morrison's CFO disagrees. I pulled out my phone and showed the text message I'd received minutes earlier. They've decided to go with titanium solutions instead. Better quality, lower cost, more transparent pricing. Jennifer went pale. They can't do that. We had a verbal agreement. Verbal agreements aren't binding when they are based on misrepresented capabilities and inflated costs, I replied. Mr. Hartley moved to the head of the table. Sarah, would you brief the team on your findings? I opened my laptop and connected it to the conference room's display system. A detailed presentation appeared on the wall-mounted screen, months of analysis documenting inefficiencies, cost overruns, and client dissatisfaction within Kevin's department. Over the past 6 months, I began, this department has lost 4 major clients, exceeded budget projections by an average of 85%, and maintained the lowest client satisfaction ratings in the company. The first slide showed client retention statistics. Kevin's department was performing 40% below company average. Furthermore, I continued, the operational assessment revealed systematic overcharging, under-delivery of promised services, and a pattern of promising capabilities the department doesn't actually possess. Marcus was reading the data on screen with growing horror. These numbers, where did you get these numbers? From the same systems you use, analyzed with actual strategic thinking rather than wishful projections. The next slide showed comparative cost analysis between Kevin's proposals and industry standards. The Morrison deal you're celebrating would have resulted in a $2.8 million lawsuit when they discovered the service quality discrepancies. Kevin was staring at the screen in shock. You've been spying on us. I've been doing my job, I corrected. Which is ensuring this company's departments operate efficiently and ethically. Mr. Hartley addressed the room. The board asked Sarah to conduct this assessment because we'd received multiple client complaints about this department's practices. I clicked to the next slide, showing client feedback scores over time. Satisfaction ratings have declined 65% over the past year, with specific complaints about cost transparency, service quality, and account management responsiveness. Jennifer was frantically taking notes. But we exceeded our sales targets last quarter. By using practices that would have destroyed the company's reputation within 6 months, I replied. The final slide showed my recommendations for departmental restructuring. Based on these findings, Mr. Hartley announced, we're implementing immediate changes to departmental leadership and operational procedures. Kevin's voice came out as a whisper. What kind of changes? Sarah will be taking over as department director, effective immediately. The current management structure will be restructured. I looked around the room at faces that had gone from condescending amusement to stunned realization. Kevin, Marcus, Jennifer, you'll be transitioning to individual contributor roles while you undergo retraining in ethical business practices and client relationship management. This is insane, Kevin protested. You can't promote a secretary to department director. I'm not promoting a secretary, Mr. Hartley replied. I'm promoting the senior vice president who just saved this company from a multi-million-dollar lawsuit and client relations disaster. I pulled out a different business card holder and placed my real cards on the table. Sarah Mitchell, senior vice president, strategic operations in elegant lettering. But you made coffee, Marcus said weakly. You scheduled meetings. I was observing operational workflows and management decision-making processes. The coffee was just part of maintaining cover. Kevin was staring at my new business cards. How long have you been Senior VP? I was hired at VP level 18 months ago. The board promoted me to Senior VP last month based on my operational assessments across multiple departments. Mr. Hartley collected his files. Sarah, I'll need your final recommendations for the Morrison recovery strategy by tomorrow morning. Already prepared, I said, handing him a folder. Morrison Industries has agreed to reconsider if we can demonstrate improved operational transparency and cost efficiency. Excellent. Kevin, Marcus, Jennifer, you'll report to Sarah starting Monday for your new assignments. As Mr. Hartley left the conference room, I began packing up my materials. Sarah, Kevin said quietly, when you tried to give feedback on our projects. I was trying to prevent exactly what just happened. But senior management feedback from just a secretary apparently wasn't worth considering. Jennifer looked at the performance data still displayed on the screen. You really think you can turn this department around? I know I can. The question is whether you're willing to learn how real strategic thinking works instead of assuming titles determine competence. Marcus was reading through my operational recommendations. These suggestions, they would have saved us millions in client retention costs. They still can. But it requires acknowledging that good ideas can come from unexpected sources. I closed my laptop and headed for the door, then paused. Oh, and Kevin? I take my coffee black. No sugar. You'll want to remember that for our Monday morning strategy meeting. As I walked to my new corner office, the one with windows and a real strategic planning team, I could hear Kevin's group having an intense discussion about everything they'd missed while dismissing the secretary who'd been trying to save their careers. Sometimes the best way to prove your worth isn't arguing about your title, it's demonstrating what real strategic thinking looks like.